Man, who is you talking? He said, man, you told my wife this? I said, you told my wife something was this? This nigga told me he's on my arm. He's on no. He said, hey, man, you told my wife such and such. What? I said, you told my wife such and such. That's what I'm asking you, brother. You ain't asking. That's what I'm asking you, brother. Yeah, bro, you don't hear me talking. If you wanted to talk to me, then you should have pulled up on me like a man. All this old other shit you pulling up on me, man, ain't no pussy in me, my nigga. I don't know what you thinking. You know? You see, I'm saying, bro, my wife, I don't know what your wife told you, man. I ain't said nothing to your wife. I don't know your wife from a can of paint, nigga. Ain't never seen that day in my life. And I don't even think I said, he said something, he said, but you said something about my wife or something? You said something to me about my wife? Damn. Let me get this together, man. He said something to him about his wife. Let me try to find this shit. I can't find it. I downloaded this somewhere. We need this song. We had just had the Passover. It was a glorious thing, beautiful thing at the Passover. For y'all that ain't never done it before, you should really try the Passover. It's so much better than Easter. That's what we did. We did the Passover this weekend. It was a glorious thing. You know, it's always a glorious thing. I love going to the Passover because you get to see brothers you ain't seen in a while. And it's just I can't tell you how the atmosphere of the Passover be. It just be a good thing. You know, everybody be there, brothers loving each other, hugging each other. I ain't got to say that no homo shit. I don't even say no homo. When I talk as a man. So I ain't going to say pause. I ain't going to say none of that corny stuff. If you take my conversation to be somewhere else, that's on you. So I'm trying to find, hold up. I know I can find, show you how some of the Passover went. You know, because y'all about to celebrate Easter. Y'all about to go Easter head hunting and all that old other stuff. Let me see. So here, let me give y'all some videos. Let y'all see a little something. Okay. Should be learning. It's the Passover. I want y'all to see how it just. Let me speed it up a little something. Hold on. Raise your hands and I'll wait. Lord, let us have a seat and find a seat. Raise your hand. There's space at your table. So that way, whoever does not have a seat can find a seat and sit down. Those hands up for those seats to be occupied. Keep your hands up so that way they can be found.
Let's go. Come on. You see somebody that's holding the scroll. You have it. Soon get to that brother. Get to that
Shalom, bro. I'm showing this beautiful Passover we had, man. I'm showing how thick it was up in there. Hold up. Glorious. It was glorious, man. That's why I telling them they're gonna be doing their thing on Easter. We just got through doing this Passover. You know, I love the Passover, man. I really enjoy going to the Passover. I try to make it to the Passover every year. I got to make it to the Passover because it's mandatory per the Most High. He commanded us to go to the Passover. You know, celebrate the Passover. Now, you might say, what is the Passover? What is the Passover? The Passover is something so raw, so gangster that a lot of churches don't celebrate it. You know, it's when I'm pretty sure all of y'all seen Moses. Everybody watched Moses. You grew up around every Easter Sunday, they always show the 10 Commandments. They always, like clockwork. They've been doing that since I was a kid. And when you watch the 10 Commandments, you watch when Moses, the Most High told Moses to slaughter the lamb and put the blood over all the doors of the children of Israel. So the death angel will pass over the children of Israel, and he killed the firstborn of all the Egyptians' babies. You'll find that in the Old Testament. It's in Exodus. And then after he killed the babies, he told us to celebrate that in remembrance. Celebrate that. And so that's what we do every year. We celebrate the Passover. We don't know nothing about no Easter. We celebrate the Passover. So what's been going on lately? Have y'all seen on the news with the brother Kenyon Martin and the other guy, the two white guys that got, well, the one white guy got stabbed. You know, apparently this brother was at the track meet, and he actually ran track. He was a captain of the track team. He was a captain of the football team. And he was under the tent of another school, but he was friends with an individual that went at their school. So they was chopping it up. Now, this little guy's only 5'8", 135 pounds. Now, if you take his clothes off of him, because that's how you really get weighed, he's probably less than 135 pounds. So you have two Caucasian white boys, both of them over 6 feet and 200 plus. They approached this black guy. I guess they told him he got to get up out of the tent. The black guy said he ain't going nowhere. So I guess they try to physically move him, and he said, don't touch me again. You touch me again, I'm going to make you famous. You're going to find out. So they went to physically touch him again, and he stabbed one of them in the chest. And they died. So now everybody's in an uproar because the brother got a $1 million bond. A judge reduced the bond to $250,000. His family started a GoFundMe program, and they raised up. So far, they say they raised up something like $800,000. They raised money. So the white society are mad that black people stood behind this young black boy. But then you also got some sellout niggas who siding with the white boy. And they said, well, he didn't have to stab him. He could have told this. He could have did this. He could have did that. Everybody got excuses what this black guy could have did. But my question is, If there was two black guys that approached the white guy and they physically put their hands on this white guy, and the white guy shot one of them black guys or physically murdered one of them black guys, we wouldn't even be having this conversation because so many sellout Negroes would have said, well, the black guy was wrong. They should have never physically touched him. You would hear them say this. I realized throughout life, whether it was the Black Panther movement, whether it was the Underground Railroad, we always had sellouts within our community. We can't get around that. We will never have not sellouts in our community. So anyway, the judge that lowered his bond was a black woman, and she had to go into hiding because they are so upset that she lowered his bond. So let me see if I can hold up, pull up some things. All right, here goes.
From $1 million to $250,000. Yes, I know. We got a lot of people upset, ruffled a lot of feathers out here in these internet streets. But it also made a lot of people very excited and very happy that he's getting out on a lesser bond. But let me just say this really quick.
Hold on, let me find something.
One of us, self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are two sides to every story. And Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. One of us.
So that's Carmelo's attorney, and his attorney is basically talking about that. Hold up.
Because of her ruling, this judge, Angela Tucker, made the decision to reduce his bond from $1 million to $250,000, and a lot of people are feeling some type of way. So much that she had to go into social media hiding, if that makes any sense. Let's take a look at this. This is very, very interesting. And again, I keep wondering, well, why is everybody going after the judge? At the end of the day, we all have to sit back and wait for the
so
trial.
basically
At this track meet, at the hands of
white folks are mad that she lowered his bond from $1 million to $250,000. And everybody want to call this kid a murderer, a kid that has a 4.0 grade level, never been in trouble. But everybody wants to talk about how this kid shouldn't have had his, well, white folks think the kid shouldn't have had his bond lowered. My question I keep asking, why did them two white boys feel that they can pull up on this little young black kid and physically put their hands on him and move him? Why did they think they can do that? And this is for a lot of you black folks who keep siding with them white folks. Why? Because if it would have been vice versa, two black guys walked up and put their hands on a white guy, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. What about that white guy a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, who choked that black man out on the subway? Do you know how much money he was raising? I don't know what's up with my phone today. So my thing is, do y'all feel Carmelo deserves a fair shot? Why are so many people mad that his bond got lowered from $1 million to 250,000? This is a guy that has never been in trouble before. So y'all can't say this kid was a thug because he haven't been in trouble before. This guy has a 4.0 grade level, so he's doing what he's supposed to be doing in school. So y'all can't say he's a goofball off in school. If that black kid was under that tent and people felt like he didn't deserve to be under the tent, then what they should have did is went to somebody. That's what they should have did. Once them two white guys put their hands on that little young black brother, he deserved to defend himself. But what most black folks don't know, what's up, B.O.B.? I ain't forgot about you, man. I just got back from Atlanta the other day, man. We was down there in Atlanta at the Passover. You know, you probably don't leave your hood. You know, you don't really get out too much, man. So, you know, you ain't leaving nothing but the gather. You ain't riding nothing but the bird. But listen, though. Why did they feel they can physically put their hands on that brother and move him? And why are so many people mad that the judge lowered his bond? Did they start to give the judge death threats because she lowered his bond? Lowered his bond. You know why they feel like that way? Because the Constitution don't apply to us. Y'all got to really realize when the Constitution was wrote, we were slaves. It was wrote in the 1700s. It has nothing to do with us. So these laws that they come out with and these laws that they make are really not pertaining to us. When they got the laws, stand your grounds, that's really for us. It's against us. It's really giving white folks the permission to kill one of them niggas. Because every time it's vice versa and we do the killing because we feel threatened or our life is in danger, we don't get the benefit of the doubt. We don't get that. Let me show you what the scriptures say. I always like to use Bible verses to back up everything I say. You know, no, I'm not a religious person, and the Bible ain't got a damn thing to do with religion. It's a history book. Ain't no need me telling y'all that anyway, because most of y'all ain't gonna pick up the book nowhere and read nothing. So let me read you Zechariah 11:5. In Zechariah 11:5, it say, who possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. It says how these folks slay us. When they do something to us, they don't consider themselves not guilty. The court system find a way to find them not guilty because they don't value black life. But when the shoe is on the other foot and we kill one of them, we the scums of the earth. We the lowest of the lowest. This is how they play this because these rules were not meant to apply to us. These rules are, the laws they invent is really against us. We keep thinking we are part of a system that we're not a part of. So when I say they slay us and hold themselves not accountable, that's what the scriptures say. If we go to Ecclesiasticus 7:7, this is what the Most High say. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. The scriptures say oppression, when you being oppressed, if you a wise man, you should be mad. You should be mad. The question y'all should ask yourself, why did that young black boy feel the need to carry a knife to a track meet? Why did he feel the need that he needed protection, period? That's something ain't nobody talking about. They keep talking about, well, he shouldn't have had a knife. Man, miss me with all that shit. Why did he feel the need that he needed a knife? Why he feel the need that he needed to carry around a knife? That's the question we got to come to. Why? He didn't just do this on his own. He didn't feel like he was in a community, or he going to a track meet and everything is all good. Apparently, he knew it was problems. So then I hear a lot of y'all say, well, why he didn't go tell his mama or go tell a parent? Man, miss me with y'all come up with shit that don't even be real. How many of us been into something and then we didn't go tell our mama? We didn't go tell our adult. We didn't tell nobody. We try to handle it ourselves. We don't go to our parents. And we damn sure as a young man, we damn sure ain't about to go to our parents and tell them about some white boys trying to bully us. Them thoughts wouldn't even came to that brother mind. The brother told them, don't put your hands on me. You put your hands on me, you're going to see what's going to happen. And they put their hands on him and shit. He made them famous. And you might say, well, what you mean by he made them famous? Now we didn't even know who this Peckerwood was. Now he on the news, he on TV, everybody talking about this Peckerwood. He getting his few hours of fame all because he put his hands on that brother. They locked the brother up. Like I said, gave him $1 million bond. The black judge reduced the bond to $250,000, and now them rednecks ready to kill that sister. Sister said she had to go off and hide, and she got to duck off because she getting death threats. She getting death threats. So I don't understand. The scripture say oppression makes, let me read this again. It said oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. What does it mean by a gift destroys the heart? When you hear these black folks with these platforms that get a little money and is speaking out about this young boy, the gift is the money they get. The destroying the heart is once you start receiving gifts, say like if I was a black person that ran for a Congress or something, and I say I'm here to help support my people and my people rally behind me. But then everybody else started giving me money. And the money I received, now I ain't about the people no more. The gift they gave me destroyed my heart. So now I'm trying to work with them and do shit for them, not doing something for my people. So my thing is, why ain't nobody talking about, well, they shouldn't have put their hands on that brother? Instead of everybody talking about what the brother should have did, I don't hear people saying, why did they put their hands on him? Why? Because I'm pretty sure if it was vice versa, two black guys, white boy, 5'8", 135 pounds with his clothes on, with his clothes off, he probably less than that. Two black guys, 6'2", 6'3", 200 and some pounds, come over there physically, put their hands on that white guy, y'all would say the black guy was wrong. Ain't no doubt in my mind. Like I said, since the Black Panthers, the Civil Rights Movement, every black movement we ever had, even the Underground Railroad, we always had sellout niggas. It's always been like that. How you think Martin Luther King got killed? It was one of them niggas, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Al Sharp. Somebody called him outside. He was inside. They called him outside. It's always our people that sell us out. So for all you Negroes who saying that brother was wrong, boy, listen. No matter how hard y'all kiss these white folks' ass, y'all never be accepted. Remember that. When we go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1, the scripture say, oh, wait a minute, 4:1. It says, so I returned and considered all the oppression that is done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such were oppressed, and they had no comforter. So the Most High talking about the children of Israel. He says, so I returned and considered all the oppression. We going through oppression. It said all the oppression that are made, that are done under the sun. All the things that we oppressed, that is done under the heavens, that's done right here on earth, that's under the sun. He said, and behold, the tears of such were oppressed, and they had no comforter. I mean, we didn't have no black leaders to stand with us or have nobody to comfort us. We just going through it. We being oppressed and we going through it. And it said, and on the others, it said, on the side of their oppressors, there were power, but they had no comforter. You know, our oppressors has the power. We don't really have no confidence. We don't have nobody outside of Christ. We don't have nobody to fight for us right now. And when that judge seen something, that judge knew something wasn't right. So when she lowered that because she knew something was right, then you have a lot of people who feel a certain way about it. But I keep asking the question, what if it was vice versa? Would we be even talking about this? Everybody would say that them brothers was wrong. Let's keep going on with scripture. We're going to go to 1 Timothy. My God says, surely oppression makes a wise man mad. That brother was being, listen, I want all this, and this is another thing I would like to emphasize. When black folks get money, the first thing they do is run out here and live in these communities with these white folks. Then you take your kids and you put them in environments and neighborhoods that they know nothing about. And you send them with schools to people that don't look nothing like them. And you do this because you say, oh, I want my kid to be better than the rest of it. And that shit don't never turn out. You don't know when that kid go to school, he's being picked at. He don't have a lot of people to rock out with him. Who he got? Everybody against us. The Africans ain't sticking with him. The Arabs that go to that school, all these people have a little money. So they don't really associate. So now he's in an environment where he got to learn or try to adapt. He goes to play sports. He's good at sports. You know, this is just something in our genetics. We built like that. But listen, he good in sports. So he might have a little animosity and everything amongst a community that he ain't really from. So now I think he was born in New Orleans somewhere and moved to Texas, you know? So now he's in a community that ain't his people or not around his people. And do you think them people wasn't bullying him? What made a 2'6" over 6 feet guys over 230 pounds pull down on a guy that's 130 pounds, 135 pounds? Let's keep going on these scriptures, man. Oppression makes it. That boy got tired. He was fed up. He had in his mind, oh, this is about to stop. So now we're going to go to 1 Timothy chapter verse 6. Perverse disputing of men of corrupt minds and dispute of the truth, supposing the gain godliness. From such withdraw thyself, but godliness with the contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. It said, but having food and remnant, let us be through with content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and to many foolishness and hurtful lusts, which down men in destruction. You black guys that got these big black platforms and y'all speaking condemnness against that little black brother, I hope everything y'all fighting for, all the riches, the bags y'all chasing or whatever y'all, I hope y'all fall flat on y'all feet. In Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1, the scriptures say, gather yourself together, O nation not desired. My God always speaks about this nation of people that are not desired, but this same nation of people will turn so quick on their people to be accepted by somebody else. Let me hear all you black folks know something. One more time, blacks and whites will never come together and they will never be together as one people. Won't happen. Why? Because Genesis 25 and 25 tells you the story of Jacob and Esau. And my God said, these two nations ain't gonna never come together. We've been beefing since we've been in the womb with these people. These people been getting away with so much now that black folks is fighting back and standing up. They can't believe this shit. How dare? We choked one of y'all out on the train and y'all stood there and watched. The nerve of these young black guys fighting back. Your ancestors laid the hell down. Why y'all ain't laying down? This ain't the time. We ain't laying down no more. This is a whole new era, a whole new awakening. The scriptures say this was going to take place. Everything is happening according to the prophecies. And this is what makes me believe the Bible so much, because everything the Bible say going to jump off, it be jumping, it's jumping off. It's going to, race wars going to happen. It's prophesied to happen that way. So no matter how much y'all try to hold hands, skip, love, all, it ain't going to happen. Just don't get caught on the wrong side of the fence if it really pop off, because you can't play both sides. Can't play both sides, man. Just like they stick with theirs, we got to stick with ours, man. Period. That little brother was tired. That little brother was probably getting, it ain't no different when one of these little peckerwoods take a gun to school and shoot the whole school up because they feel like they was getting, because they feel like, I don't know who the hell that is. Oh. Let me go back to what I'm saying. Hosea. Another thing I want to talk to y'all about. Did y'all see what China did? Hey, China just did the walls thing. This is for all you sisters. Y'all might didn't know this, but China just revealed, I'm telling y'all what's going on in the latest news. China just revealed that all these high-end bags y'all been buying, this Gucci, this Louis Vuitton, this stuff is not actually made in Italy. He tells you the same place that they make the purses that say made by China, that same purse that's made by China, and that same purse that say Gucci is made at the same place. They say they ship these purses out and they repackage them and retitle them. And they say made in Italy, made in France, made in, man, that shit made in China. China say, y'all want to put tariffs on us? We're going to put y'all on the wall now. China say, hey, they've been hustling y'all. Ain't no all them Gucci purses they made right over here in China. We making them. You can go right there down the store. Matter of fact, this is what I should do. I should run my black butt up to New York and buy me a whole bunch of purses and start slinging them because they're the same purses. The same purses that you get made in China is the same purses y'all get that say made in Italy, made in France. They the same thing. Look it up, y'all. Ain't no high-end purses. All that shit. See, everything is a hustle. Everybody hustled the children of Israel. We get hustled by everybody. We getting bamboozled by everybody. And our people, some of our people, and I love us to death, we so superficial, we about names. We see Gucci, oh, we want that Gucci. We see Louis Vuitton, we want that Louis Vuitton. And we actually believe that they got some factory where people just sitting there hand stitching, because they always say, no, the hand stitching. See, when you look at a Gucci purse and a purse from China, and the Chinese say, hey, all this shit the same. And guess what they did? The prices on Gucci, they say they dropped them like 20, 30%. Them people over there start dropping the prices on their purse once they got exposed. Like, what? Y'all committing fraud. That's fraud. So for all you black women that think y'all got these $500 purses, these $2,000 purses, they ain't did nothing but hustle, y'all. Everything is a hustle. They hustled y'all. That's what they did, man. They put the hustle down. So y'all might as well, I'm going to set up shop about a week from now. Y'all might as well buy purses from me. Y'all buying them from, they ain't real Gucci's. Well, let's just say this. What's a real Gucci purse? They're not made in the country that they say they made at. And the stickers that's in there, the so-called, when they say they put you got the brand and got a code to it, they say they make all that up. They make it all up. They say them purses cost $200. Some of them cost $50 in China to get made. And then they send them out to the countries they come from. They rebrand, repackage them, and sell them same purses that they made for $200, $50 to $200, and sell it to y'all for $1,000, $2,500. I can't knock it. It's a cold hustle. That's a cold hustle right there. You know, it was a saying when I come up, see a fool, use a fool. They seen some fools. So they said, man, everybody want to be superficial. Let's make this money. Let's make this money. I used to say the same thing when I used to go in the stores. I say, is this real organic? How do I know what's an organic and banana and a regular banana? Because they both the bananas looking the same. You know, you done seen organic so-called fruit, and you seen regular fruit. Well, not regular fruit, artificial fruit or whatever they want to call it, and they look exactly the same. I want the same thing about water. Everybody keep talking about, man, this water right here got pH 76 in there, and it's some of the best. How y'all even know none of this shit? All this shit is a hustle. We are the biggest consumers in this country, so we the biggest people to get hustled. Hustle. The sooner we recognize that these nations against us, is the better off we'll be. Like I said, 2 boys approached that guy, Carmelo. I'm trying to figure out, and Texas has a stand your ground law. But like I said, when they made these laws wasn't made for us, man. Listen, this is some real shit. You know how many black men with gun license kill other unarmed black men because they say they feel threatened? And some of them beat the case. A lot of them beat the case when you kill another black guy when you feel threatened. How many black guys you think shoot unarmed white guys when white guys approach them and be aggressive? And they have a gun on them because they have gun license. They think twice about killing that white boy because they know it's repercussions. It ain't too many repercussions behind killing your own. You see, that guy just shot his wife 5 times. That white guy shot his black wife 5 times. And they charged him with manslaughter. Like, you ain't going to get no murder. We ain't going to charge you with none of that. I know you shot her 5 times and you said it was a mistake, but all right, we'll give you a manslaughter for that because they don't value our lives. They don't not value us in this country. We're not valued as a people. We just not. Why do you think that through the Most High, throughout the Bible, let me read y'all something, man. Throughout the Bible, do you know the Most High constantly told us to separate ourselves? He said that I'm going to give you scripture after scripture. Well, we got to separate. This is what the Most High, this is not my words. I don't want everybody to be like, man, you all the segregation people talking about, that's good. That's good for us. That's better for us. When we segregated, we were stronger as a people. Most people don't want to segregate because they hate their people. And the thought that they got to sit there and love each other, oh, that shit just blow their mind. So now let me read y'all some scriptures, man, and get to this. That the Most High never intended for all of us to be together, for us to be one big family. This kumbaya, come together. And this is why I fault black folks sometimes when they get money and you have children and you move out there to these certain neighborhoods that you feel so prestige. You got to worry about when your child go to school. What is he going through? He's not around people that look like him, that can communicate with him, that share the same experiences he experienced as a black guy. So this guy's like, you know, he's the captain of the football team, captain of the track team. Let me show you, read these scriptures, man. See, we ain't supposed to be defending ourselves. That's how they feel about it. Like, how dare y'all stand up and fight for yourselves? Y'all is tripping. Hold on. Let me give y'all these. You know, the Most High divided the nations in Deuteronomy 32. He divided the nations in Genesis chapter 10. There's no verse where this kumbaya come together shit. So for all you black folks that's speaking out against that young brother Carmelo and saying things about black folks, we shouldn't stand with him. We should stand with him. Why we shouldn't stand with him? That's our black brother. And it's obvious that other people standing with the guys that was bullying him. Hey, that was funny as hell though. Hey, the Chinese said if you're gonna put tariffs on us for all these little man, y'all need to start getting them people over them white folks, man. They've been selling all that fake shit. They've been slumming them. They've been, hey, oh, that is so funny. So that means all you women with these high-end purses, y'all might well come and holler at your boy. I might have a deal for y'all. Buy a purse, get a purse free. And mine's gonna have Gucci signs on them too. It ain't like people gonna know they ain't real. That little young brother Carmelo, and I ain't saying this is what I believe. I believe that brother moved from New Orleans and he moved out there to that little hick town. And I believe when he moved to Texas and he was going to a school where it ain't a lot of people like him, because you can see in some of the videos he was hanging out with, you know, with other people of not his race. And when he went to that tent, and everybody keeps saying, well, why he had a friend at that tent that he was cool with. So he went to the other schools where he went with his tent, because he was the captain of the track team. He's also captain of the football team. Captain of the football team. He has a friend that runs track, and he's at his tent, and they chopping it up. My thing is, and I keep hearing black folks say something bad, like we sticking by. My thing is, if he wasn't, let's say he wasn't supposed to be under the tent, and some people had a problem with him being under the tent, why didn't go to staff and tell staff, hey, we don't want him in our tent? Why they didn't do that? I don't hear nobody on social media talking about why they didn't. Y'all keep saying why this black guy didn't do this, why this black guy didn't do that, why he didn't tell his mother he was getting bullied at school, or why he didn't do that. Why the white boys don't have to explain why they approached this young black brother? He was 5'8". 135 pounds. I want y'all to understand this. At 5'8" and 135 pounds, that's with your clothes on. So if he takes his clothes off, like how you usually supposed to get weighed, he's not even 135 pounds. I give him an estimate, maybe 128, because the clothes going to be about at least about close to 5 pounds. The clothes going to be at least a few pounds, period. His gym shoes, it all depends what he had on. So his clothes going to weigh in on that factor. So he didn't even really weigh 135 pounds. And you have two white guys that's 6'+", 230. So we just going to say they outweighed him at least by 100 pounds. Now, once he said he didn't want to move, why did they physically feel they can move him? I don't hear nobody talking about why they feel he can. Everybody going past that. Even some of these black folks I see on social media, everybody's running past that fact that they should have never put their hands on him. I told you, these people hold themselves, they slay us and hold themselves not accountable for this. I read you Zechariah 11:5. When they do something to us, they don't feel they should be held accountable. And this is what the era we're seeing right now. Black folks are starting to stand up for themselves, and it's hard to believe. These white folks saying, I can't believe this shit. Much of all the things we done in them, and they got the nerve to try to stand up now. So that's why when you hear about stand your grounds, notice this. Every time it's a black and a white guy, and it's an altercation, and the white guy is wrong, stand your grounds don't apply for black folks. Y'all have to realize the Constitution was wrote in the 1700s. When it said all men were created equal, you was a slave, black man and black woman. They were not talking about you. I hear so many people, the Constitution say the Constitution wasn't even applied for you. It was to go against you. So when they come out, we can stand our ground. Do you notice when black folks shoot other unarmed black folks? And the black guy said, well, I felt threatened. I felt my life was in danger. They always say that and use that excuse to kill an unarmed black guy. I was in danger. I felt my life was in danger. And you will find juries and other people justified. Let me flip this for a minute. If two black guys, 6 feet plus, over 230 pounds, would approach that white guy and told that white guy, hey, get up out this tent. The white guy didn't move, and the black guys went to move him up out of there, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. It wouldn't be all the social media posts. We wouldn't even have none. You know what everybody would have said, and especially you Negroes who speaking out against that young black brother and say, why he didn't tell his mother he was getting bullied. How many of y'all told y'all mama when y'all was going through something? Sometimes men out in the streets don't want to go to their parents. They want to handle it. The question we need to ask is, why did this black guy in this neighborhood feel like he needed a knife to protect himself or either have a weapon to protect himself? Why? Nobody answered these questions. Everybody's so quick to deem this little young black brother who has a 4.0 grade level, never been in trouble. So you can't say he's a thug or none of that. So now they want to put social media posters up of him holding a gun in his hand. Now they're mad at the judge because the judge lowered his bond from $1 million to $250,000. Maybe that judge knows something or seen something in this case that the media ain't talking about. What about the white guys that made the social media posts if that porch monkey come to that track meet and they had gun emojis? Did y'all know they had a post that said that? So I say that to say, man, that we got to separate. Ever since, listen, since the children of Israel, we always had sellouts. It's always been like that when it came to our people. Christ got sold out. The Israelites got sold out. The Black Panther parties, blacks sold them out. Civil rights, you see how they tricked Jesse Jackson to come out there. And they said Jesse was in his room eating a cheese sandwich. And they told him, come out here on the balcony. Soon he went out there, they sold him out. Every movement we ever had, we always had sellout Negroes. This is why I love my school so much, man, because we consider the demons. I had somebody ask me today, they said, Azad, Jacoby, is y'all a cult? I said, do you know the definition of a cult? So we looked up the definition of a cult. I said, well, Jesus Christ, when you look up Christianity, it's this white man with blonde hair. He's not in the Bible. That would be the form of a cult, worshiping an idol that don't even exist. I said, what about the cross? The Bible say, thou shalt not worship any grave image, wood or stone. But then when I go in the church, I see a wooden cross. So wait a minute. The Most High speaks about, Christ said, if you believe in me as the scriptures I wrote. So everything the church represents actually goes against the Bible. And you ask me, are we a cult? So once we did the math, she said, damn, I didn't see that, man. Why do people say that? I said, because they speak out against us, because it's to deter people from listening to us. Hey, listen, they had a program called the COINTEL program. You can look this up. What was the COINTEL program? The COINTEL program was a program that the FBI implemented. And they said to stop another black messiah from rising. I want to stop right there. Who was the first messiah to rise? And we know they couldn't have been talking about Martin Luther King or Elijah Muhammad or Malcolm X, because this is at this time. This is at the time when the government was already plotting to kill them off. You know who that first Messiah they was talking about? They was talking about Christ. When they said we can't never let another black Messiah rise, the only black Messiah I know is to rise was Christ. I don't know another black Messiah to rise. He was the only one to rise. They made sure another one didn't rise, but they would sleep on General Yohana. They would sleep on him. They would sleep on him. He was brick by brick putting it together, and they would sleep on him. They would sleep on him. That we was going to come back, like they wasn't going to be able to wipe us out. So when it talks about this COINTEL program, the program is to stop any black movement from rising up. And they say some of the tactics they use with the churches. What do I mean by that? They have the church to speak out against us. So what makes you say the Constitution wasn't written for us? The reason why I say the Constitution wasn't written for us, because the Constitution was wrote in the 1700s. We were slaves when the Constitution was wrote. So we didn't have no say-so in the Constitution. We don't even have a seat at the Constitution when the Constitution was put together. If you actually look up, I think in the 13th or 14th Amendment, slavery never even ended. The Constitution say if you commit a crime, you will be put back into slavery. That's what the Constitution say. Matter of fact, let me Google it. Let me look it up. I don't want to just tell you this, but let me just look it up. What does the Constitution say exactly about slavery? The 13th Amendment. It say, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. You hear that? The only time you can be put back into, it tells you, the 13th Amendment, it say, wait a minute, let me go again. Let me pull it up on a little better, man. It said, the 13th Amendment, it say, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. Keep in mind, they keep trying to get them to take this out the Constitution, but they wouldn't take it out the Constitution. So it's still in the Constitution. It say, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, wherefore the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject in their jurisdiction. Meaning, if I commit a crime, the Constitution says they can put me back into slavery. Most people don't know that prisons is a business. They started building prisons, I think, in the 1870s. This is how they played us. They let us out of slavery. Once we came out of slavery, we didn't have no land, no jobs. We had nothing. So what they did is when we committed crimes or we had to get something to eat, they put us in slavery to keep that free labor coming. They still had us picking cotton. And down south, they call it the chain gang. They had them guys on chain gangs picking cotton and doing everything else. So in the Constitution, slavery never even ended. It tells you if you commit a crime, we putting you back in slavery. That's not my words. The Constitution says this. Do you know they keep trying to get this took out the Constitution? Look it up. They will not amend this nor take this out. Won't take it out. Even when you heard Donald Trump, when you're trying to use that birth citizens right, did you hear what Donald Trump said? He said, if you want to be technical, when that when we wrote the Constitution and we implemented that amendment, that was for black people. That was for no other race of people but blacks. It was implemented during slavery. He told you this, like the things that were set up in the wasn't to help us. It was for them, not for us. This is why when these rules come out, stand your ground. Stand your ground don't apply to us. When you stand your ground against a white man, they're going to let you know, like, niggas, you should have never stood your ground. We've been killing y'all. How dare y'all fight back? But I told you in the scriptures, it's prophesied about these race wars that's going to happen. I don't give a damn about all you black folks talking about I'm cool with Tammy and we together and I'm holding hands. The Most High says it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just like all the prophecies else came fulfilled, this going to come fulfilled. That little brother Carmelo, we got to stand with that brother, man. He didn't hit the white boy 4 or 5 times. I would have. He hit him one time in the heart and he died. Now everybody's saying this guy's a monster. He's a killer. This kid had a 4.0 grade level. He was the captain of the football team, captain of the track team. This is not even a bad kid. This is actually a good kid that was put in a circumstance where he had to man up. He had to man up. Like I said, one more time, what made them white guys feel like they can physically move him? Why they didn't go to the administration? Why they didn't go to, why everybody putting everything on the black kid? Say, well, he could have did this. He could have did that. He could have did what the hell he did. Make it pop. That's what he chose to do. Don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. You touch me, I'm going to make you famous. He touched him. He grabbed him. He physically, even the witnesses said, well, they went to moving. Wait a minute. Time out. What you mean they went to move? So they put their hands on him. So it's wrong for a black guy to feel threatened. A black guy ain't supposed to feel threatened. Even when he in a situation where 2 big white guys approaching him, black guys are not supposed to feel threatened. Everybody say these guys was bullies. That's what some people say. They was bullies. They were known bullies. Shit, what they? It's plural. It's more than one. It ain't a they no more. It's just the one brother by itself now. The other one got his whole head tore off. So that's what I'm on, you know. That's what we're talking about, man. I like to talk about the today I wanted to talk about the current events that's happening, man. So I choose to talk about old Carmelo because that subject really touched me, man. You see how so many people feel like that brother shouldn't have, like I'm trying to figure out like what he was supposed to do. What was Carmelo supposed to do? Snatch him up. And then they said, well, he could have went and told. Everybody keeps saying what he could have did, but nobody keep talking about what these Peckerwoods could have did. Why they didn't go to the administration? Why they didn't go tell somebody? Why they didn't do none of the things y'all saying that the black guy should have did? Why they didn't do it? Why white folks don't have no accountability? Like I said, the scriptures say they slay us and hold themselves not accountable. When they do something to us, they don't hold themselves accountable. Look at all many incidents where white folks then killed unarmed black folks. And it was like, even when the police do it, the judges go down there and hug them. We ain't valued as a people here. And when we do stand up and fight for ourselves, we got to fight against the court system. And we got to fight against our own people. Especially these niggas that's getting the bag. They the worst niggas. Because hey, listen, they will sell us out so bad. We've been getting sold out. So, I mean, every movement, everything we ever had, we always get sold out. It happens like that. We ain't getting sold out in the UPK. You ain't even got to worry about that. Ain't no brothers in here, man. Listen, ain't no niggas. If a nigga do turn toe and coat, man, we said the links of a chain have to be strong. That's how you keep a chain from breaking. Without a doubt, the way I see the brotherhood, I know this link in this chain strong. I know the link in the chain strong. I'm just asking the people out there, man, how much shit do y'all think we supposed to take before we stand up for ourselves? How much? And I'm tired of you brothers with these podcasts keep trying to speak out against that little brother Carmelo, trying to tell the other black people, man, we should. Y'all actually mad because this brother raised up money to outbond himself. And most people say, well, how he's raising more money than the kid that got stabbed? Because we know how it be in these communities. We know how it be for people to pull down on us. We know how it be to be treated injustice, unfair. We know how it is, how the court system is shit on us. We know how it is. Do you know blacks make up #1 for the exoneration rates? Meaning we make up #1, meaning you always hear people talk about black on black crime, but you never hear them talk about we make up #1 in exoneration rates, meaning more black people get found not guilty for crimes, or cases get overturned for crimes that we were committed for crimes that we never did. Shalom, bro. For crimes that we never did. More black folks. We make #1 in exoneration rate. So when I hear you people talk black on black crime, talk about the exoneration rate. Why we make up #1 in exoneration cases, meaning more black folks get convictions, get overturned for crimes we didn't commit than any other people. And you know the cold shit about it, we have been in did 20, 25, 30 years for crimes we didn't even do. And do you know them people will let us out and say, okay, we made a mistake. That white woman that pointed that brother out and said he raped me. And they said, you sure it was him? I'll never forget his face. And then DNA come out, and this brother then did 15, 20 years, come to find out it wasn't him. Then you hear this Peckerwood say, well, I wasn't sure. I was under so much distress at the time. And you just took 20 years from this nigga's life. 20 years from this man. I'm talking about they dog us. But you always find them black folks. You always find them ones that get a little money, that do a little bit better than us, who feel like they in. So they don't see things from the perspective we see it from. They see it from, long as I'm cool, long as I'm straight, I don't give a damn about the rest of my people. They better get theirs like I got mine. That's the mentality they have. Well, you know, I ain't gonna sit here, you know, I just wanted to talk about a couple of subjects today, you know. Hey, and for all you women, like I said, China just put it out there. Stop going to them stores, spending all y'all money on them bags that's 25,000, 2,000. China just told me they just let the cat out the bag. China say all that shit is made in China. All they do is ship it to a different place and change the title. That's it. They ship it to Italy, repackage it, and now you think you got a Gucci bag that was made in China, and the same people that made that Gucci bag, they say they make them bags for $50, sell them for $200, and when they repackage them, they sell them for about $200, $150. But they say when they ship them out to these different places, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and all these places, they repackage it and put a name on it a sticker, and y'all sell it to y'all for $2,500, $5,000 a bag. And y'all think I got this $5,000 bag. Hey, China just told, hey, listen, Trump just started this tariff thing. Everybody coming out telling on each other now. They turning on each other now. Like, hey, if you gonna charge us, you got to charge them too. Them Peckerwoods over there. And guess what? Gucci dropped their prices like 20, 30%. That's how you know it's true. These high-end stores start dropping the prices on their bags because most people start talking about suing because they're committing fraud. All is going on right now, y'all. So, you know, I just wanted to touch on y'all with that to know. Like I said, man, we went to the Passover this Saturday. It was great. It was glorious, man. We do the Passover every year. Like I said, the Most High, he commanded us to do this Passover. A lot of brothers didn't have their money right. A lot of things didn't, you know, paper wasn't right. A lot of people were struggling.
Hello.
Yeah.
For the reservation until 6, it's about a quarter after, and our 6 o'clock.
All right, I got you.
Here.
All right, I got you.
Okay.
With that note, we are the ISUPK. My time up. You seen it just come to the door. My time up, you know. Y'all stop buying them bags and support that little brother Carmelo, man. He stood on business. He stood on it, man. The brother was minding his own business. And if you want to say, listen, I feel like if he had to carry a knife, then he knew he had to protect himself. Everybody else get to protect themselves but us. We the only people not allowed to protect ourselves unless it come to each other. Now, if it come to me and you, I can have a gun against you. But if it come to him, I better not have no damn gun. Shit, I better take that killing like a man. With that, we are ISUPK out of 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohana. To all my Black, Hispanics, and Latinos that's of Native American or African descent, this message for you, love and shalom.